What's up, everybody? It's me again and us, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We are here for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I have Asia, I have Antonio. Welcome back to the lean, especially you, Asia, because we ain't seen you since Atlanta. What's going on? How you
Uh-huh.
doing?
Asia Jackson now. How
Asia
you doing?
Jackson, you did get married during the Atlanta show. Show your ring, honey. Show your listen. I'm gonna ring your ring.
Oh, I ain't look. I have it being cleaned right now.
Okay, well, listen, get it
Yeah.
clean. And then Antonio, of course, we've seen you. We've been doing Married to Medicine. Season been kind of slow, but we did commit to finishing it. If you're watching,
We
we
did.
are gonna do Married to Medicine. The reunions we're gonna do it all at once next week. So if you're looking forward to that, then we're gonna have that coming. But again, we are here for the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I will say they have promoted the hell out of this season.
Yes.
I have never
Yes.
seen them promote so much, but they have. And so we're gonna talk about episode one. It was a good episode. We can talk about some of the taglines and stuff too. We were supposed to go live last week and talk about the taglines. So let's start with the taglines. And again,
Okay.
if you're in the chat, if you're watching right now, this is a good opportunity to go down and like the video, get this video boosted up. We're gonna be here all season. Danny will also be on this panel, but Danny is flying back from a weekend's trip, so he'll be joining us from next week on. But starting with you, Asia, who had your favorite tagline and who had your least favorite tagline?
I have to say my favorite tagline was the new girl
Mm-hmm. If you
because
want to
it
pop
fit
off.
her. Yeah, I'll get you adjusted. And I'm not saying I like her or
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
but her tagline, it just fits very well. And it's
Yeah.
a good one for the first season. Like it introduces, what she does without like being too braggy,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows that like, okay, she not afraid, I guess, to throw some salad in your face.
Oh my God. Okay. And your least favorite?
Giselle.
It was kind of weak. She used to have some of the best ones. I feel like at the beginning, but now lately, child, since she became the pastor, whatever, child, I haven't really been that interested. What do you
And it
think?
had
Oh, go ahead.
like colorism undertones in it. And it's just like you have to really think before you say shit like that.
Yeah,
And a lot of people were offended by it. I didn't
yeah.
even catch that.
I still ain't caught it. Let me
But
go
I
back
just
and see
thought
what she said. What she say?
she
I just know I didn't
said
like
the
it.
way to stay pretty is to stay out of the shade or something like that. And it's just
Oh, if
like, girl,
oh yeah, she said the way I stay pretty is it was something about okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, she did.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's crazy because
So,
they've always kind of, her being a lighter tone woman, they've always kind of thought that about her and Robin and this whole
mhm,
cast because originally there really weren't any dark skinned women on this cast until I mean
mhm,
Yeah.
Sharice was there, but up until Monique and then Candace and then
yeah.
Wendy specifically, it really wasn't. So I get it.
Mm.
What was your favorite and your least favorite tagline, Antonio?
Of course, my favorite was the Grand Dame,
Mm-hmm.
Karen Huger.
Mm-hmm.
She always ready is what I got from her tagline. I live for Karen. And I like when they do the taglines and they actually put some conviction in it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mia's probably would have been my favorite if she didn't make me believe it when she actually said it though, but I still thought her tagline was good. Least favorite is probably Giselle's as well. Robin was right there close to it, but if I had to pick one, it would be Giselle.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't really have like a least favorite because they always like the only one I remember that I can remember right now is the only thing messing in my two boys is me.
It's me. Yeah, that
Like
was
Oh
clever though.
yeah,
I don't really care for Ashley like that, but I
that was a good one.
I love that tagline, and I'm
yeah,
glad that I will say at least she owns her messiness. I wish people like
yeah.
Giselle would own it.
Right now,
Um,
today.
just in general. Who you talking about, Ashley? I agree, she is owning it
Yeah,
now. But hey, we got to start somewhere, and I got to give her
yeah.
flowers in this moment because somebody does wrong. Um, but that's the only one that
Okay.
stood out to me. Like even Candace, I don't really remember what it was. I just remember
Candace
that one.
was something.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
remember it.
nonetheless, I wanted to see what everybody else thought. If you're in the chat, of course, let us know what your favorite tagline was of this season or your least favorite. And we can, come back to it or whatnot. But kicking off this season, of course, they were not going to start the season out without talking about what happened last season. Of course, last season,
Right.
the situation with Monique and Candace escalated. Situation between Wendy and what's her name? Wendy and Karen and Candace, and then Candace and Ashley. Those were like the focal storylines. But they kind of picked back up last season from the reunion, because at the reunion is where it really went down. That's where I feel
Hmm.
Yeah.
like Giselle and Karen were okay throughout the season, but at the reunion it went really left. And honestly, I'm gonna say that
It's right.
I feel like Giselle is taking this out on Karen for what Monique really did. I mean, I'm
Yep,
just saying.
Yeah.
That's just my
Yeah.
opinion.
she
But
definitely
Absolutely.
is.
going into this season, what did you think off bat? How they brought in the last season, because I see a lot of people saying online they couldn't go 10 seconds without talking about Monique. First of all, they're not talking about Monique. They showed a clip. I mean, it's just a recap of the last season. But that's just my
Hmm.
opinion. What were your thoughts?
I actually liked that it was a continuation because there was still unfinished business
Yeah,
with the group from season 5. So I like that they continued that into season 6 to kind of build off of that. I wasn't mad at production for doing that at all. I think it was really smart. And I still wish that Monique had returned because she was a big focal point of what happened last season. So it would have been
yeah,
good to see how everything ended up getting hashed out this season. So, but I'm still looking forward to it.
Asia.
When I saw the flashbacks, I was like, I was cringe because it was just like, ugh, that was bad, and that's all they talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how they started off like, okay, this is where we ended, and I think that's to show later on that it gets a lot better. And even when they asked like, what was last season to you, and somebody said like just toxic, everybody just was like, it just wasn't good. So I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's going to show the difference from
Mm-hmm.
a toxic season to a successful yet shady season with the fun shade that we all
Right.
enjoy.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
say
lighter season.
that
It's not so
last
dark.
season was so dark. It really was, and I
Hmm.
just hate to say that because people are gonna say, "Oh my God, you start coming down on Monique," but that fight really made that season so bad. Um,
It
it
was
was,
dark.
it was even getting to the point to where I was tired of recapping it and reviewing it, because
Hmm.
like it was just basically either Candace versus Monique. Clearly, I like Candace, but and clearly I think she did some things wrong last season, but it just was so toxic to talk about it. So I'm glad that
Yeah.
they are able to, because many people, all those little love and hip hop fans that love fights, they saw the fight between Candace and Monique, they gravitated to the show, and they was like, this show is
Yep.
gonna be over, blah blah blah. The show is gonna be fine, and I think this year it gets back to what Potomac was before last year. I'm not saying it's Monique's fault. I just feel like that fight and everything else
I
just
am.
made things so okay. Well, Ace just saying it's Monique's fault, and I do
I'm
want to
not.
say, okay, well, you're not. Well, you know what? That's why this panel is split like this, because I wanted to make sure there was equal representation of both. Danny, we know where he's staying too. But I just want to make. I wanted to basically. I feel like this season is going to be a good season. I'm glad that they started off so
I do
good.
too.
All the promotion, I was worried. And just so word on the street is, the Potomac producers are going to be producing Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. So if this season is as good as it's looking to be, then Atlanta will be back in the way it should be, because Potomac has
Yes.
never really slipped. And Atlanta needs it really bad. So,
Yeah,
but
I
Yeah.
agree.
Because
that's
I
just the
need
word
something
on
to
the
talk
period.
about when Atlanta come back. I need something to talk about. Something for real
Right.
to
We
talk
were
about. I
struggling.
can't.
We were struggling. I'm Bolo, YOLO. I was tired.
I was
Y'all
like,
was
the
struggling.
panel needs more.
The
The
panel
panel needs
itself
more.
was more entertaining than the damn
Entertaining.
cast
Then the
members,
actual
okay?
show. That's true.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
we
Not
were.
only that, but
Yes, we were.
Potomac Potomac still has 4 of their people
Oh,
that
geez.
actually started the
Yeah.
show as well. They're
Yeah.
OGs, and they're now on season 6. So I
Yeah.
think that also helped them to remain relevant and current because there's still a real history with with those women. Even with
Yeah,
Candace, she came season 3, so she's on her fourth season now.
yeah,
So yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
I definitely think this is gonna be good. I'm ready for some light shade. I like Monique, but I definitely hated that the fight happened.
yeah,
Um, so I'm ready to just get back to what it's really about. The little fun shade, a little
yeah.
argument here, there, kiki, hee hee, ha ha, and then keep it moving.
Okay.
I think
So
maybe
oh, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I think maybe Monique can come back when she is able to actually process everything that happened.
I think
She
she
just
wants to be back. I think her husband doesn't want her back because
Yeah,
everything she does now alludes to she wants to be on somebody's television or on the
hmm
she like she's has her own blog and stuff like she's doing
yeah,
recap
she's
of
on YouTube
shows.
with us.
She is on YouTube with us, so I feel like she wants that those moments again. But I think her husband is like, because it. I mean, just because
Mm,
he damn near got in trouble or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. Whatever.
yeah.
So in this season, Wendy's back. Wendy was new last season. Great addition. I liked her last
yeah,
season. This season, she kicked it out,
yeah.
child, doing the what's it called? What's it called? The name of
The
the challenge
silhouette
called the
challenge. The
silhouette challenge,
silhouette.
and I was like, "Ooh,
Yes.
Wendy, girl." I'm glad that she's getting her sex
Yeah,
appeal back, but she's just to me, she's
yeah.
not that fluent, and she's not a very
It's not.
sexy woman. Not as attractive, but in terms of like, she's just not.
Sex appeal.
Yeah, the sex appeal. I'm sorry.
The
The
sex
silhouette
appeal.
challenge. The sex appeal is not there, but she's tried. So she's throwing this party, which happens at the end of the episode. And I was like, okay, you sending these invites out to all the women. You got Ray over here looking at the stuff, and that's bold of her. Her husband actually did it, so I was excited for
Oh,
that.
Jesus.
Candace has a new home. Like she's no longer in her mom's home. Um,
She's no longer in the home that she split with her mother.
Yes, she actually moved into this house. I think November, because when we did our interview
Hmm.
last year, she was actually in the house.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, she was actually in the house. So, yeah, nonetheless, she's in her home, and she also had like you see now, Chris's children, which are her bonus kids, are there. So
Mm.
Yeah,
you're seeing a new element. So I'm kind of glad. Like I see where things are going with her. Ashley's pregnant again,
yeah.
obviously. They ain't having sex. She still worried about her husband cheating on her again. I mean, if he ain't
Uh,
gonna never stop.
oh
But
my
who
God.
cares about them two, the
I
Darbys?
mean,
But it starts out with Giselle and Candace, and Giselle and Candace are talking, and I just find it weird that Giselle is throwing shade at Candace about this other home that she had. Because if
Yeah.
we all saw Giselle's hippie ass home last season, and it was a mess. Okay, I'm cussing
it's
loud. My mom is in another room, but
yeah.
still, that hippie ass house. Like I
That
just,
house is terrible, and
it's
it is in a
terrible.
ditch, like you said.
It is. It is. How did y'all feel about Candace's new home?
I loved
It's
it.
ten
I,
thousand
I,
500 square
yeah,
feet. I
square
feel
feet.
great about her home,
It's nice. It's big.
Yeah,
It's big.
yeah,
and she got
yeah.
it for
It was
1.1
big.
million.
It was nice.
Yeah. And
And I
they
was
got so
thinking like,
much for
damn,
the
I
townhouse.
thought it was right.
That's
I was
cheap.
thinking like that's a lot. That's a good price because I thought pretty much everything in the DMV area was like very very expensive.
Yeah.
For a house that size, I felt like it would have been a lot more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm not in real estate or anything, but I just thought hell, a 10,000 square foot house there is going to be a few $1 million, but seems like it was a good price tag on it too, and it looked new. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
proud of
beautiful.
Candace for
It had
that.
it had it had elements of a newly renovated home. I don't think it was completely
Hmm.
new.
Okay,
But I don't
But
know
yeah.
the aesthetic of that area that they live in either. So it could be different from what I'm expecting of a
Okay, so
yeah.
home.
I googled it.
Uh oh. Okay, what you
Give
So
us
find?
some
I
tea,
looked
Asia.
up. I looked it up. I literally looked up houses over $10,000. Like she must have some good equity or something, and put a lot of cash down for them to get it at that price. Because I maybe found one other home in the whole
Mm-hmm.
DMV area. Like I did a big circle.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you don't get a house for that price unless you
Oh,
negotiate and put some cash down, especially in the
What she got to
pandemic
do in
when all
COVID?
the homes were going up. Yeah, I mean, but the house prices during COVID were going up. We were gonna buy another home,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, "Oh, y'all want 250 for shacks?" I'm not trying to live like Giselle. So we're staying in our townhome.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
true.
didn't.
We're
Nobody
And
in
lives
our
there
Giselle
like
threw the
townhome.
Giselle.
shit. Giselle, but then Giselle threw the shade at Candace like you 48 years old and you about first of all Candace in
Hey,
her
Candace
early
is only
30s.
33, 34.
She
Not,
just turned
not to mention
34.
Giselle just purchased her home. She was leasing that home, and then she like Candace told her last time, you bought that fucking barn, and you had to redo it,
Oh,
and
she
it.
did read.
I
She read the
mean,
hell out of
it's
that house.
ugly.
Yes. She read the hell out of that damn hippie house. I'm sorry. I call it a hippie house. It looks
She did.
nothing in the house matches. Like, let's go back
It
to
looked
her
like
house.
Claire's.
It
It
just
looks like
looked.
Claire's.
It was like one room was Arabian Nights, the other room was Egypt, one room was the jungle. It was just so much going on. I've never seen a house be so incohesive. Ugh, I don't know.
And
But
then she said the West Wing.
girl, please, it all looked like a wing. So okay,
Oh
so I don't want to talk about this house anymore. I just felt it really weird.
my god.
But the conversation that they talk about also is that Jamal and Giselle, and I just found it odd weird that they're talking about this still. Like, why is Jamal even in a conversation at this point? He does not have any interest. Like, what did y'all think about them? Her even they tried to flash back to a moment that that looked like it was a positive moment in their relationship, and I'm like, they must have searched really damn hard for that scene because I ain't seen that ever. I ain't seen it ever on this show. They must have found it in somebody's phone because I'm just like,
They found it on Married to Medicine. He spent
they,
more time on Married to Medicine than he did on this show.
ooh,
That is true.
right. I'm just
That
like,
is
where did
true.
they find this clip? Because I'm like, this is where did this happen from? But how did y'all feel about that? Like, just how they tried to make them seem like, oh, it was so good at one point. I don't know. I mean, we ain't seen it be good. Not since I've been watching the show.
No.
I
I
no.
like
No.
I just don't believe it was a real relationship to begin with. I do feel like it was something that was done simply for, television and for a
Mm,
storyline.
mm,
Um, so and when she said that, I'm like, okay, not surprised that y'all aren't together. So
yeah.
okay. Reminded me
I
of like
think
a
what
Kenya
happened was
Walter type of situation.
that was terrible. It ain't that bad. I think they had started fucking again, and she was like, "Well, what are we?" And then he was like, "You tell me." And then she was like, "Okay, yeah, we're back together." And he was still fucking everybody else. Like there, I don't know. I don't. So maybe that was their happy time,
Mm-hmm.
but on one end or another, it just they were not on the same page, but they were still fucking.
Yeah,
Okay. Once a month? Yeah.
that's
Once a month.
unfortunate.
Mm.
That is
That's
I
unfortunate.
call that
unfortunate.
I call that a painkiller. Like when you have to fly to go see the specific dick that you want, like you
Mm-mm.
have an itching for it. So they were like each other's painkiller for
Mm.
that moment.
I don't
Okay.
know. I'm tired of hearing about it. So I'm glad that at least at this point, I think we may not see much of it. I don't hope we don't get like halfway to the season they decide to end it because honestly, I thought he agreed that he was no longer gonna do anything for the show and stuff like that. So I don't
Yeah.
know what's that about, but they brought it up,
I don't think he's
child.
gonna be on.
Let's just move into the actual main scene because I mean they kind of the first episode is usually very fluffy until the final scene. I love group scenes. So in this scene, it was actually Wendy's nude interlude event. What did y'all expect of the event? Because the girls thought it was gonna be strippers. Like, what did y'all think the whole purpose of her having the event was? Did y'all think it was about what she ended up revealing, or you thought it was something else?
I was just
I had
thinking
no clue.
new brown girls. I was just thinking that was kind of like the
Mhm.
whole,
Yeah.
nude and brown girls. I thought, okay, that's what and even when she said she had a couple of guests, even though we had talked about Wendy having, getting some nips and tucks and pumps done,
Yeah.
but
Wendy's.
I
Yeah.
didn't
She
think
looks
that
like
it
it.
was going to be a reveal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be a reveal, but um, yeah, that's it.
I didn't
It's just,
know. I had no clue. I thought she
I
just
didn't
lost
know
some
either.
weight and
I
maybe
just
had got her
thought
titties done.
I will say I've seen a lot of nude brown and all these yellow parties for the last 2 years. I've seen a lot. I
Yeah.
went to a wedding that was essentially like nudes and colors of the skin tone. That's been like a trend for
Hmm.
like the last 2 years in general. So I was not surprised to see it on the show. But basically, she revealed her boobs, of course, her tits, her girls, and every other, all other work she done. Sorta. She did not reveal her other work. I like how they tried to shade her about her ass, because Robin was just like, I mean, and the thing is, I think I like about is that her work is not the most like it's not the
It's not
most. She
overdone.
did,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
she
she
got it
did
naturally
a little
done.
naturally
She pretty much had
done.
a mommy makeover because
Yes,
everything starts to
yes,
hang
yes.
after you have children. Like,
And she's
and if
had
you
three.
decide to breastfeed, if
Mm-hmm.
you decide to breastfeed, I remember my one friend, she lost her whole butt after she gave birth to her daughter. Like
Mm.
literally, it just went away. She was like, "My daughter sucked my butt out. I don't know where it went." So
That
I
was gonna
like
happen
the
to
fact
me.
that she.
Yeah, yeah. She looks the fuck like the fucking bomb. She did. I
She's
mean,
good.
and the work that she did have done, even though she wouldn't admit it, you could kind of
Well, she
tell little
admits it
stuff that she
later.
may have gotten done. Right,
She
but
admits it
she
later.
She
she
said
looked.
she said it and they just didn't edit it in. Like when they were like, "What?" and she said nips
Oh,
and tucks and nips and tucks, and then she said she eventually was like, "Okay, y'all, I got a BBL," but because she was like alluding to it at first, they were able to just
okay,
get those scenes with her not saying it. But she said BBL. And even before it aired, I think her husband even said she like got some booty too. So she
Yeah,
was like, I don't know why they didn't put that in there, but I
yeah.
did say and BBL. She just said it eventually.
Well, in the second,
yeah,
they released the clips of next week's episode, and I think she does say it there. She does admit it
Okay.
there. And that next episode is a mess, child. But let's continue to talk about this. So we have a new girl, Mia Thornton. How we feel about
yeah.
Mia? Cause she's Karen's friend. I didn't expect that. Um, how we feel about Mia? This is how y'all feel. Then I'll talk last.
Um, Well, I always like to give the new girls a chance and to see what they're about and really prove themselves. Like to me, it was the first episode. She did come on a little bit strong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did like though how she handled that shade that Wendy threw at her when she was like, "What else did you get done?" And Wendy was like, "Well, what did you have done? Because you look like you've had a lot of work or something like that." And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
she ran down the list. I like how she handled that. I do like an open queen that's willing to share, what's going on in their life. But I hope that she leaves some stuff, to maybe carry into another season and to I don't want her to give it all up, but I'm watching Mia. She seems like she can hold her own.
So
I like that as
you
well.
think she was being open, or you think she was just being like? What do you think? You say you think she's being open?
Oh yeah. I
I think
it
she was
seems
being
like to me she
extra.
just read it. She was being a little extra too, of course.
Yeah.
She's new, she's not used to the camera, so a lot of them, as we've seen in the past, they feel like they have to do a lot to be able to, get attention and scenes and stuff like that. But I do still feel like even in her being extra, she was being open.
What do you think, Asia?
I thought she had time to study the show, and she acted accordingly.
That too.
Um, so I don't have nothing for her yet. I like her tagline, cute tagline.
Hmm.
That's
That
I
you
I
just
mean, she
yeah
just
can't
waiting.
hide the plastic surgery either.
yeah. She if she
Because
didn't come out and say what she said, I would have said, "Bitch, you lying," because
girl,
you look like a lot of things.
she gives me like a
Yeah.
little Kim, a little Michael Jackson like tease. Like you just see it. And then the only thing that I didn't like that I saw on there was people talking about her skin, saying she got all that work done, but she didn't get her skin done. And I just don't like that because skin is very sensitive. So it was a pandemic. Like I don't think that people should automatically be coming for her skin like that. I mean, we got enough to talk about. Don't talk about her skin. Talk about her cheekbone.
Well, I was one of them people that said that actually.
I
I
know.
did look and I was because I just was like, well, you got all of this work done, but I am looking at your skin and it's kind of, I'm gonna shut up. I'm blessed in the skin area. I am. So I'm gonna be quiet.
Same.
So I don't have those problems, but I did say that like, ooh, all this work done, girl. What's wrong with the skin? But I mean, it's like
You
no
know
different than
what?
saying,
People forget to go to the dermatologist. That's all.
no, she didn't forget, child. She just she thinks that makeup cakes it up, and so maybe in real life,
Yeah.
but when you're on these TV screens and these television, these 4Ks, like it's gonna show it all. You're gonna show all the craters,
Because the
and
same
that's
thing happened to Kenya. Kenya came
exactly,
on there, caked up makeup, looking terrible with
exactly.
like, ooh, your skin, girl. So that's
Um,
why I've learned to ease off because it's that the skin thing is like very
yeah.
sensitive. But I might talk about the rest of her face.
What do you think about Candace not coming, and then them saying so? Robin, I see why Robin get read so much because she do be kind of like on the side.
She
If
do.
you watch the clips of
Hmm.
the next episode, and I meant to save it so I can play it tonight, she get Karen. She always get laid out. Karen let her have it, but when they said that Candace wasn't coming, she stuck out her chest and said, "Well, I think it's because of Karen because her and Karen." I was like, "You ain't even we ain't seen you talk to this girl. If it did happen, sure." If Giselle ain't saying it, Robin, what are you saying? Like, how did y'all feel about it? Do y'all think Candace really didn't come because of Karen, or you think she didn't come because she was feeling sick? Or why do you think she didn't come if you didn't think either of those reasons?
I mean, she was mic'd up. Her outfit was on the laid out with accessories and stuff, and then
Yeah.
they literally literally hear diarrhea coming out her ass.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
I mean, I think she was really sick because she was
Yeah.
getting ready to come. And then
Yeah,
it was
she's
during a pandemic, and you don't really know what's going on,
yeah.
and you kind of don't want to chance it then. So had they not shown that, then I'd be like, maybe, maybe not. But I mean, it was clear she was. I mean, she had her mic on.
Yeah, that's true.
And then also, I got many different opinions about Candace, but one thing I will say, I don't think she would have not come because of who's going to be there. She's never really shied away from kind of facing people. So I don't think that was the case at all.
Especially Karen. I know her
She
and
had the
Karen had
diary.
issues, but I don't think that they were just like at odds like that. Um,
Hmm.
not like Robin was trying to make it seem as if it was like
Right.
Candace and
Yeah.
Monique or Karen and Giselle. Like it wasn't like that. They just had an issue. They may be beefing, but they ain't beefing like that. But
Hmm.
And Candace will
Giselle,
yell at Karen at any given time. Like she yells at her. So I
yeah,
don't think she would be running from her at any
that's
moment
true.
of
At all.
filming.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I just thought Robin was just being messy, and like what I said, what happens
Hmm.
next week when Karen like gets her all the way together, it's deserved because Robin just be doing all. She be chiming in. It's like, girl, just sit there and eat your food. Just sit there and eat your
Yeah.
food.
She to me doesn't have like an identity. Yes, she's funny and she says little shit on the side, but she doesn't really have an identity and
Yeah,
she
I
says
agree.
shit that she thinks people want to hear. She doesn't really have a true opinion about a lot of things. So,
yeah.
yes, she's funny. Yes, she's a good filler. But girl, you don't have your own opinion. So, I mean, I take what she says with like a little grain of salt.
I feel like she makes a valid opinion when it's not related to Giselle or
Giselle, I
maybe
agree.
Karen. I feel like with those two, she
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 doesn't like
automatically
those two. I
she
mean, yeah,
doesn't
she doesn't
really
like Karen.
like Karen. So
Yeah,
as much she
yeah.
likes to act like it, so she's gonna side with Giselle. So that's always anytime like
Mhm.
she's been asked to speak about something else, she speaks with some sense. I don't think she has a valid opinion. It's just when it comes to that, she's clearly biased. So it's like why,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I don't know,
I
I
agree.
maybe agree because when she's with Giselle, it's like y'all can't always agree on stuff like that.
and
Like
they
you
are and
always,
Everything.
they blindly support each other, which is
and
not
it's just
realistic.
like, girl, no. So yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying, Cortez, and I agree.
Yeah.
So Mia, they introduce who Mia is, and Mia gets herself in this number game where basically she's saying her husband they're 38 years apart, but she is 36 and he's 68, which is really not 38 years. It turns out to be 32 years that they're apart. And Yeah, that of course she does
And she
reveal.
was doing Phaedra mask.
It was definitely giving Phaedra math.
Listen,
Luckily, they end up counting for her because it didn't give a girl. I don't know when this baby coming out of me, girl.
she finally was like, he's 68, I'm 36, whatever that
Yeah,
is. I was
I
like,
was
damn. I
confused.
was, yeah. I will say this. I think she is still a pretty woman, but
Yeah,
I was surprised when she said she was 36.
Yeah, I thought she was like
Um,
45, 46.
well, she's made herself
I was
look
gonna say,
older.
yeah. I was gonna, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's made herself look older. I mean, that's what she wanted to go for. So I mean, she don't really have no lips, and the lips she got, they look all made from the doctor. I'm not really a fan of it, honestly. Um, so when Wendy threw the shade at her, how did y'all feel about that? Like when she threw the shade, like I know, like I can tell you got a lot of work done. Like, how did y'all feel about that shade?
Mm, go
I
ahead,
was
Asia. What you think?
I
Huh?
was iffy about it because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she she kind of can't help that, some of her stuff looks a little botchy. Like she didn't do it herself, so you kind of just roll the dice when you get stuff done,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why I was like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have said that, but I understand if Wendy thought she was coming at her, why she would respond that way and shut it down real quick. Like, okay, well, you must be the expert, because you look like you got a lot of stuff done. So I
Mhm.
didn't necessarily like it, but I understood it.
I didn't
Okay,
think she was coming at her.
I did.
I don't,
You
I
thought
did.
I
And
that
what
don't,
wait, you
I,
think Mia was coming
I,
at
I,
Wendy? Or you think Wendy was
oh,
coming
no,
at
no, no,
Mia?
no. No, I don't think Mia was going at. I
That's
think
what
she
I'm
was
talking
just kind of
about.
like. I think that was her way of kind of maybe like a little side rapport start to build it
hmm
with Wendy because when Wendy said, "Oh, you blah blah blah," and she was like, "Yeah, I got this and this and this and that." I just felt like it was kind of like her way of maybe kind of sparking a conversation with Wendy, I guess. But Wendy
Yeah,
was not here for it in that moment.
I didn't like that, and I'm
yeah.
gonna say because you have this event about you want to show off your boobs and show off the work you've gotten done, and it's supposed to be this open floor for stuff like that, and you kind of it's like she kind of turned it and snapped a bit on Mia just because she's
hmm
like the new girl, nobody really knows her. That's what I got from it. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, okay, Wendy, like I don't think I mean, she threw her shade and it was cute, but at the same time, I don't think it was warranted, especially when you are you're showing what for whatever reason you got your boobs and body done, right? So you're saying it's because of mommy and you it's for being stuff like that. If this woman want to get her work done, she should be just as proud without you shaming her. And I think what I've
hmm
learned is that Potomac, I've always looked at Potomac, they always have this snootiness about them on their show, and I don't dislike it. But of course, if you notice how they were saying when she got her clip done, they've always been a little judgmental. And even in one season, Wendy has become very judgmental already. Clearly, in this scene,
hmm
she's gotten well acclimated with the cast.
Yeah,
Um,
I
that's
think
all
but
I.
Wendy
even
was
when they were in
judgmental
the
last year.
Huh?
yeah, I agree, Asia. I think she was as
Wendy
well.
was judgmental last year too, and I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah,
she was, and I don't, I like Wendy a lot, but I think
Yeah,
she was a little judgmental last year. So I
yeah,
don't really, I think really that fight overshadowed so much that we
yeah,
didn't get to see how judgmental she really was because she probably said a
yeah,
lot more slick shit that
yeah,
didn't make the cut, and
yeah.
I just know that she did because that didn't come out
Mm,
of nowhere. It just didn't.
yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
But even when they
Um,
were in the living room or whatever, the living area, it was a couple of the other women when she revealed her breasts were like, okay, and what else did you get done?
yeah.
So I mean, it was, it was a
Well,
question that
Karen,
they,
we
a
know
couple of them
Karen get
had.
work done, child. She looks great, but she get
Yeah,
work done. She wasn't as judgmental. It seemed to be mostly like Ashley, Giselle, and Robin, the boring girls. Um,
Hmm
honestly,
well,
Robin
you
had
heard
I
like
love
Karen
how you
said she
talk.
wanted the doctor's number.
no, not Karen. Oh, we now Karen knows and been tucked and
That's
slipped
what I
about
said.
30
That's what I said.
times.
Karen said she wanted the doctor's number.
Karen has a
Right.
good doctor.
Well,
She
the
don't need no
doctor,
other
She does.
Wendy
doctor.
actually posted the doctor yesterday. So if anybody interested in who the doctor is, it's on the page. She tagged them.
I, I'm
Um,
gonna wait till I have my. I'm gonna wait till I have my three babies. Then I'll do it.
ooh. Well, you got to breastfeed all three of them too for a year. because that's what Wendy did.
I don't want to lose my titties. I like the way my titties look. I don't know. I
Yes, we
don't want
do.
fake titties, but
um. So then, in the final scene, and I
Oh,
do want to make a quick
Asia.
mention, child. Did y'all see the server come in there? That server was slow as hell. I really thought it was Riley.
Slow as hell. I said, was she
I thought it
nervous
was.
or is she
I
slow?
thought it was
I think
Riley,
she was
Candy's
nervous.
daughter. I said, "Is that Riley back there serving food? Is she slow?" I mean, she came out every time she
Fucking
came out. Even
Riley.
in the next episode, she still was coming out slow. I'm like, what is this server doing?
I,
Anyway,
I think she was really
She
nervous
seemed
about the
nervous.
cameras,
She
though.
did seem nervous. I
Yeah.
was like, why is she talking so slow, explaining the food?
I was confused.
It's just a titty cupcake. That's all you gotta say. Titty cupcake.
That's all it was. That's all it was. And then in the final part, the big showdown, was clearly Giselle and Karen. I just want Giselle to leave Karen alone. I want Giselle to leave everybody alone because she is no match for really anybody at this point. She looked absolutely ridiculous at the end. You know, somebody you're gonna air
Yeah.
somebody out, and then one comment is thrown, and you just what's a high box? What's clink clink? Whatever she said. I'm like Giselle, stop. So who do y'all think won this? Clearly, who won this battle
Listen, Karen Huger with that one hitter quitter, you are a broken whore
from Hampton
from
University?
Hampton University. Everybody knows it, and
Everybody
even
knows it.
everybody, but everybody at the Wendy looked like, yeah, I do know it. Why the fuck you say that? I did know that, but it was
Hell,
like
I feel like I knew it.
you cannot go and start an altercation with someone and not be prepared to win, whether it is verbal or whatever the case may be. You got to come with your guns blazing. And she had talked all that cash shit over at
She been
Candy's new
talking so
mansion.
much the whole episode.
And
She
oh,
every the
I'm
whole
gonna air it
episode.
out.
The whole
And she
episode.
got her ass wore out at that table. Karen Giselle came with those same recycle reads from last season and the season before.
Mhm.
Karen hit her with something brand new that she was not prepared to come back
She's
from. So
this is what got
um,
me when she said something about your man ding dong don't work, and she was like, well, your man's ding dong is in everybody's something. She was like, well, at least it worked. I'm like, what this? So okay, so because it's working to somebody else's for JJ. You okay
Yeah,
with
it
that? You
ain't
sound
working for
ridiculous.
yours.
It ain't working for you.
go
Girl,
home, Roger.
I was like,
Boo.
Giselle, that is not a bar.
That is not a
Who'd
bar.
you practice that with?
Like it was given
It had
like
to be the hairstylist.
your mama so fat. That's what I was like. I'm like, "Ugh,
Your
girl,
mama. That's why
this
your
is
mama
ridiculous."
titties fake.
Yeah, it
That's what
just
it
was
was
But
like
giving.
Karen told her at the very beginning. Karen
she said,
said,
she
Giselle,
said,
you
you
don't
don't want to
want
do
this.
this. You don't want that.
Listen,
I didn't
she
like
ate
it. I
Giselle.
didn't like it. I didn't like it because I'm tired of them old bitches talking about sex and each other's shit and who they fucking. Like it's so late and old. It's just showing their age. Like y'all really arguing over y'all old ass niggas.
But she
Like
said she had
we
a
don't
hot
care.
box. I'm like, wait a minute. So how
I'm
did she know she had a hot
what
box?
girl.
It's taking a whole new level of gutter. I'm just gonna say,
It
Karen is
it's
definitely
just.
she is taking it to the streets with these some of these reads lately. I can't
Mhm.
wait
She
till y'all
told
see
Bob.
next week's the clip. I meant to download it and put it on the screen. But child, she
Yeah.
wore Miss Robin out about that wedding next week.
Robin deserved it.
She did it
Because
so
Robin even
slick.
tried to get in her.
She no, she does it again. She does it again.
Um,
She was like, oh, what she say? I think she said I'm something about I'm getting married this year, or something about are you getting married? It was something about them not getting married or having them. It was a nasty read. Just go to one of them pages. I should have had it. We'll talk about it next week too, but it was nasty. And
Yeah.
so Karen, to the, my point is
Ooh.
like, leave her alone. I do. Brooke said that it was cringy. I do kind of think it was a. I mean, I live for it, but I just feel
Yeah.
like
I
Karen, you are
I'm
like
tired.
almost 60 years
I,
old, and you talking about somebody got a herpes box or whatever you call it. It was just kind of
Yeah.
like,
I do feel like Karen feels like she really has to fight this season because if you think about it, she doesn't really have anybody on her side, whereas Giselle has, Robin and Candace to back her up. Hell, maybe even Ashley in some instances. Karen doesn't
Mhm.
really have anybody. So I'm thinking maybe she feels like, okay, I always got to be prepared to come out swinging because I know these girls are going to be coming for me, and I don't really have anybody to kind of back me up. So maybe
Yeah,
that's what
Well,
she's
yeah.
that's
coming
why she
from.
was able to introduce somebody in too on her side.
Well, yeah,
Usually,
that's true.
Bravo lets the
You know,
person that they think is gonna get ganged up on. They usually
Bring
have.
some.
It's usually a person for them. So I think that's why because she showing up didn't really have. She really ain't
but you
had
know
nobody
what?
like that.
If you, like I said, I watched that clip from next week, and Mia didn't really have Karen's back in this argument. She kind of took side to, you know, took to Giselle's side. So I don't know how this gonna go. You know, if you look at the trailer,
Good.
it looks like Mia gets into it with somebody. Obviously Candace, but it looks like she get into it with Robin or
Wendy.
somebody or Wendy. It looks
Yeah.
like she gonna clash a
And
lot. You
she gets
know,
into it with Robin too, I think.
yeah, I think so. Mia, I mean, just the next episode, she literally says like, you know, I don't know Karen, but she Giselle seems very sweet to me, and I'm just like, that's not something I would say if I came with this. If I she this girl and brought me here, so hopefully Karen thinking she has a friend that she really has a friend, because based off next week's
Mm.
episode, the clip that I saw, it looking like the girl Mia just kind of wishy washy, and she kind of just want to get in where she fit in, because she leaves with everybody's numbers. It, you know, after an argument like that,
Ooh.
I'm gonna leave with my friend. We finna go. I'm not finna sit in here and just
Yeah.
start swapping numbers, especially with the person that didn't say it. This, I'm finna air you out. Like, no, that's just not what you do. But you know, who
Well,
knows?
I did see an interview that Giselle was doing on one of the other blogs, and she was saying they were asking her about Mia, and she was like she felt like Mia's a great addition, and she was like at first it was kind of rocky because she felt like I guess Karen had put some stuff in Mia's ear about her to
Yeah,
make Mia I guess kind
Mhm.
of not talk to her or whatever she said, but
yeah,
once
She did.
Mia kind of came around, like she pretty much said they were cool now. So
yeah. Well, I do be talking to, some of those cast members on that show, and so I do be listening to what they say. But we're gonna see the rest of the season. I do hear that Mia is a great addition within time, but as
I
of
think
right now,
she
I don't.
she seems like it.
Yeah, she seems like
yeah,
it. She seems like a different choice that I would have not thought they would have gone with. Honestly, she seems a little different than what I would have thought for the Potomac cast. But it's good for a shake up, and we'll just see where she fits in. I mean,
I
everybody
mean, it's
thus
good
far,
that she's fitting in with other people though. Like you don't really want to come in new
and
and
just be with
only
that
have
one
this one
person.
person's back
Yeah,
and you be this because then you look like you're that person's lapdog. You look like
see
you are only
that's how you become a
yeah,
friend of the show. When you want to
yeah.
get on the cast, you got to start opening up the circle. But if you want to be a friend of the
Mhm.
show, you stick to that one person. Because there's actually another
Yeah.
girl on the cast this season. I think she's like Candace's friend. I saw some pictures. She was
Yeah.
also at the thing, and I think she's just a friend of the show. I don't think she actually gets to be like she don't get. She obviously is not. So I can't wait to see. It's like it's gonna be a good season thus far. Like it's gonna
yeah,
be some unexpected moments, and I like where it's not just one storyline. They're gonna give us
yeah.
arguments and blow ups and explosives.
Thank
I'm
God.
looking forward to it. Any
Yeah.
predictions on what y'all think? Any other feuds or arguments that we haven't seen already? Any predictions?
I am. I like because I got tired of like Atlanta because you knew it was gonna be Nene versus Kenya or Portia
Mm-hmm.
versus Kenya or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I like this season. You kind of get to see Wendy and Giselle
Mm-hmm.
mix it up, and
Mhm.
so it's like
Yeah.
some new kind of drama that we can pay attention to. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out and how things shake up at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Asia.
I think Candace and Ashley gonna get into it again.
What they did, she called her a wide back something. What she called her? She said,
Yes,
"You
she
got your
did.
When?
wide." She
Yo,
said, "You got your
your wide body.
wide
She
body
said your
ass."
wide body ass. Yeah.
I was like, she was pregnant.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
coming up later on in the season.
So
But
they
then
gonna
I'm
tell
like,
it
was she
again.
Shit.
pregnant at that time or
Nah, cause she's only 10 ways away from giving birth now. So
We
unless
not
it's
really
within the next
seeing
10 days,
we not really seeing Ashley as I feel like this is gonna be Ashley's like kind of like simmer season. I don't think it don't
thank
seem like she
God.
in much of the mess because I mean she been keeping it up for the last 5 6 seasons. So, you know, I
listen,
think she can take a break. Honestly, she can take a
She
break.
Yeah.
can.
Ashley understood the assignment. I will give her that.
Her mess. I don't think messy
Mhm.
than the two boys is her, and she ain't loud
And then
Mhm.
yeah.
So with that being said, I think we have covered everything. We're definitely about to lean out. Of course, we're gonna be here next week talking about episode two, between myself, Asia, and Antonio and Danny. One of us, somebody will be here talking about it. And whether it be live or not, we will let you guys know. Of course, if you didn't know, chat, I'm on bed rest, son. That's why I'm in this bed. So I'll be here every damn Monday. I ain't got no excuse not to be filming. And shout out to Candace actually for sending me some flowers for my injury.
Aw,
I ain't gonna be biased to
that's
Candace
Oh,
this
so
yeah,
season,
sweet.
y'all, but she will be
that
back to the
is. That's
lean.
nice.
I also would like to get Karen, and I also like to possibly get somebody else. So if that happens, you may see them this season. If not, we'll let y'all know. Any last words or any last thoughts on the episode, Asia and or the season, Asia and Antonio, or any questions
I'm
from the
glad Brooke is
comments?
back.
Hmm?
Oh yeah,
You
are there
glad
any
what,
questions in
Asia?
the comments?
Yes, he been in the comments. They been here.
I'm
Brooke is here. Derek is here. Carter has been here, and a few others. I
Hey
don't.
y'all.
They're the only ones that been speaking, but everybody else has been quiet. If you're in the
Oh,
comments, don't
okay.
forget to like, hit that thumbs up button, and like the video. Y'all
Please
just sitting
thumbs
there,
up.
just like
Yeah,
it.
I
But yeah,
like it.
I think overall, I'm glad Potomac is back, and I'm glad they came
Yeah.
back the way they did.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
I'm sorry, Antonio. I'm very glad that Monique is not here, so we
That's
can
okay.
have us like a good. I just want a good, solid season. I'm a black girl, and I really just want to see like rich bitches do rich bitch shit and
I'm with.
be a little shady, and that's just what I'm looking for.
I get it.
And
I
so
get it.
I'm happy to have that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just really happy to have that. So I'm happy.
Okay.
I get it. I get it. And one thing I will say I am looking forward to is Candace, the dynamic between Candace and her family, like Chris and the kids.
Hmm.
I hope they kind of go a bit more into that because I think it'll be good to see Candace in a different light or see how she can balance, the drama with the girls, but also
Hmm.
being a bonus mom to like her husband's kids. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, definitely Asia on the rich bitch stuff. I want to see them hoes go out and buy some stuff and Fendi coats
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I want to see them do that
That's
too.
true.
So
I
yeah.
want to see them drive nice cars and have expensive cocktails.
Well,
Like
Giselle got to
I
get rid
just,
of that PT Cruiser. What's that thing she got? That
it's
Well, she got a Range
a
Rover,
Mini
man.
Cooper.
Mini
yeah, that
Cooper,
Mini
yeah.
Cooper.
She got
I
to get rid of
thought
But
it
that.
she's
was
driving
like
a
maybe
Range
the
Rover now.
girls' car.
Oh, oh, she does have one. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I thought that car was like the girls' car, and
That
she
was
just
her
so
car
happened
at
to drive
Well,
it
first.
that
the
way.
Gucci one she had that was Jamal's because something happened with her
Oh yeah,
car and
that
she had
was
to drive. Yeah.
Oh,
Jamal's
Giselle.
Gucci Mini
See,
Cooper. Yeah.
Driving back to her Arabian Nights castle queen or whatever it is.
Park.
Ah,
Right. With that being said, we're gonna get out of here. Make sure you like the video,
terrible.
like, subscribe, comment, all things lean. We will see you guys next week for episode two. Until then, y'all have a good rest of y'all Monday night
I'm
and
gonna lean
have
out.
we leaving now. Say good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.